Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and in my to-do box I have these piles of already cut pieces. These are mixed media and cardstock pieces, and then I also have pieces that I cut from watercolor paper. I'm going to start with the mixed media pieces. Probably won't get to the watercolor paper till another video because this is kind of a lot. And I'm thinking this is kind of what compartmentalized creating is like. You know, like I cut all the pieces long time ago, and now I'm just going to paint on, just using acrylic paint. It doesn't matter what kind. It can just be your cheap craft paints. It could be your good paints. It can be whatever it is. And it's my first layer, so I'm not even worrying too much about, well, I guess that one's just going on a little thicker. I'm not getting it on completely. You can see with these, I just kind of hit or miss in some areas. I'm not too worried if it gets on the back, just because, well, that's how you know it's handmade. So, I'm not sure about how, well, it's in the background, so it really doesn't matter. So I just kind of like take one of these cheap brushes. It's got scraggly ends, and I just kind of just go on and, you know, get whatever's on the brush onto the thing. And I'm just kind of grabbing whatever color is next to me, which now happens to be lime green. That's not weird at all. And just getting a little bit of background on there, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, what the heck, the brown and green is ugly, but that's okay. And also you're getting colors from the brush, and that's okay too, because I'm just making backgrounds for tags and journal cards and pockets and whatever they're going to be. And actually I'm kind of liking how the brown is intermingling with the green a little bit, and you know, you can even just hit it like that, and it's giving you background. Sometimes when I'm making backgrounds, I will go ahead and do like some stamping in the background, because that shows through a little bit in places. Today I'm not, because I just wanted to throw some paint on things. And yeah, we'll have a lot that are very similar, and that's okay. And who knows how they're going to look at the, you know, which way they're going to face at the end. So even if I'm like doing, you know, how like these two, I kind of like did the same pattern as I was brushing it on. That's all right, because you turn one over like this, and oh, now it looks like a different pattern. So it's not a big deal. Even if you did like use the same pattern as you're doing it every time, not a big deal. Oh my goodness. So that last one was a Soho lime green. And this one, if I can get, oh my goodness, a big dry, there we go. This one is Ocean Green, Master's Touch. That's from the place that shall not be named for some people. It's from the place that doesn't believe in barcodes, which baffles me. Also, they're going to get paint on the back because I'm just kind of throwing them to the side there. So yeah, oh, that one's watercolor. It can go in that pile. Oh, and another, this one I was trying to draw a mushroom house. Daddy, okay, Michelle? Michelle's the creative code. Michelle was teaching how to make mushroom houses. So that's what that is. Most of these I could kind of tell which was, oh, and it's mixed in with the green. So the lime green, the ocean green is mixing with the lime green. This might be watercolor paper, but sometimes I couldn't totally tell, because I had I think I have two different watercolor papers. So some have like, but they're both, this one's kind of wrinkled, but that's okay. If I back it, no one will ever know that it was ever wrinkled, right? I think this is just cardstock. So if you're using acrylic paint and you're doing it like this, where it's like not getting totally saturated, you can just use cardstock. It's fine. I've got mixed media paper here. Try to buy it when it's on sale. Usually I get Canson, but not always. And some of this is Bristol paper, because when I'm up in Massachusetts, there's the Ocean State job lot, and I can sometimes get that, you know, pretty cheap. You can even just do cream. I mean, if you wanted to go more neutral, it'll get some of the color This is unbleached titanium, which is fine too. It's going to mix with whatever colors on my brush and just give us a little bit of a grungy look on there. You could start with stencils, stamping in your background. You know, if just throwing paint on a piece of cardstock makes you nervous. But really, you know, you get yourself a nice rough brush like this. I mean, that alone is already more interesting than just plain white. And it's just cream with what, it's just, you know, the unbleached titanium with whatever is left on the brush and not getting it on there perfectly. And I don't know, I think it's fun. And I'm just trying to go through this pile really quick. And then I'll turn it over and start from the first one and try and, you know, and do some more. This is a lot of this one, but that's okay because it's almost like a light spring green. So I think this is one of those ones. This one might have come in a your creative studio. That little tag might have. But I mean, I don't know why, but now I like that. And all I did was scrumble, is that the word we want? Some color-ish on here. Let's see. And I'm starting with light colors, not for any particular reason, but just because that was what was on my desk. Let's see, we've got some raw umber here. That's, like I said, I'm just kind of grabbing what's on my desk. So this will be a lot darker of a background. And they're going to change. You're not getting married to anything that's in the background. Although if you really did something that you love so much and you're just stop at that layer if you got something on there. And this is a cheap brush. So the fact that I'm doing this craziness with it is perfectly fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This one is berry wine. Like, I'm not even thinking about my colors. I'm grabbing colors that I've used recently. Because I don't really have anything in mind for what I'm going to be making. So I'm just getting stuff on there. That's it. Just getting, it's kind of freeing. You're not, this first step especially is freeing. Because you're not worried at all about what's happening. Like, because you know there's going to be more layers, more stuff's going to happen. This is just this step, and I'll do this for at least 2 layers. I think this. Whoops, that's a lot. This just, you know, throwing it on there. Just throw. I have a big pile. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just. Be free. Be free, little birdie. Be free. Play and be free and have fun. So this is a good technique. It's like if you see people, you know, with their gel plate and you're like, I don't have a gel plate. Well, get yourself some just cheap paints and a cheap brush and just start, you know, putting stuff on paper. Cardstock. It doesn't even have to be mixed media paper or any special kind of paper. It could even just be book page that you've like glued more book page to. I mean, because look at all that, like, you know how gel plate keeps giving and giving? Well, so does this brush. This brush keeps giving and giving. There's more in there, and we're just getting all kinds of interest, just smushing it on there. See, that's just what it is. All right, what else do we have here? We have linen, which will be another, basically, it'll be a carrier for the color that's in the brush already. Is what that will be. If I can get any out. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, we're not using linen. Purple. Artist, oh, this is the Phoenix for All Art. I'm throwing this one away. I got it at Ocean State Job Lot. I hate it. It's too thin and icky for me. Let's see, what's this one? Antique white. I'll just, like I said, it'll just be a carrier for, oh, white would have shown up on here too. It's a carrier for whatever's left in the brush, basically. Slam it down, get your aggressions out with your paintbrush. We can get the hairs off of there later. Yeah, there's a little bit. This one I was doing some testing, I think, and so I know it's mixed media paper because it says MM on there, and that means mixed media. You want to mix up some paints and some sprays, you could totally do that. Let's see. You do that, and then you can just kind of use your brush, spread that around. Still, you could also do that with your brush, you know, get that kind of a linen look. Look, I need a couple of these left. I'm going to do a couple with the, just the sprays, and then kind of brushing it out like that. Because why not? This is my last one in the pile. But we've got something in the background, and that's what we're trying to do. Just change it from plain white paper to having something in the background. Okay, now we have this pile right here. I'm going to flip it over and start from the bottom, because those will be the driest ones, basically. You know, and I could go ahead and clean that up, but yeah. Alright, so, and they're upside down now, so I don't even know what there is. This is the ocean green again. Just kind of putting a little bit out there so that I'm changing the colors up. And just, again, just going and adding color on there. Now if I pull one up that already has ocean green, I'll probably switch it out for a different one, but you know. Just random. Super random. And let's see, I don't know, but just, it's okay if a little bit of white shows through. You can always, if you really don't like, the white showing through is just, it is also interest, so it's okay. It's alright. So far I've used mostly light colors, but not always. What's this one? Payne's Gray. Let's see what happens with that one. With some light pink. I like some dark blue and some light pink, actually. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. You probably want to see all the different layers and how they turn out, huh? And yeah, we're just adding layers. That's it. You know me, I like some navy blue. And because I'm using this particular brush, it's not a magical brush, it's just cheap. And we're not worried. We can buy more cheap ones. And we like that the fact that the bristles are crazy is actually a benefit. I am kind of aiming for more of the white spots, but also overlapping a little bit, because it's just fun. Alright, what color next? I don't know. What's this one? I already did that one. Not that I can't do it again. What's this one? Apple Orchard. A different green. Just, well, spring's coming, so all kinds of green. Nothing wrong with that. Clashy greens, that's fine. It's clashy, but it's going to mix with that dark blue, and it's just the underpants. It's just the under layers. Birdie, the recycled hippie chick, she says underpants for the under layers. It amuses me. And my friend Shell, the Rambling Crafter, she doesn't care if her greens match when she does them or not. She just likes all the greens. So you know what? I'm not going to worry about it too. In the end, I'll make sure it looks good in the end. Okay, my printer's waking up. I hadn't plugged it and plugged it back in because it would not print for me yesterday. And whoops. Oh, this has two sides. And that's almost the same color as what's over there, so just push it over there. Maybe it'll be a mono. Oh, that's the same too. Wait, we got a bunch of green ones right now. So I'm going to skip those and move on to some other ones that were not green. Or at least not that green. If I had had some under paper under here, I'd have some really cool, or drop paper, I'd have some cool paper to work with again. But I didn't. And that's alright. I know, getting a third color on that one. Because I'm not thinking, I'm just doing. I'm just playing. Just playing and having fun. What if... Oh, I got my seedless preserves. Yeah, okay. What if we play with that one? Because it's new and we haven't had this one before. And this is what makes it mixed media, that I'm kind of combining some distress inks with some acrylic paints and just having fun with it. And you know, that's good just like that. Let that dry. That's another layer. It doesn't have to be, all your layers don't have to be acrylic paint. And you get just some interesting lines just by doing that. What if I spray that over there and use it almost like it's just the paint? You can also do that. It's a nice... Oh, is it printing now? The thing I was trying to print all day yesterday? Well, I kept canceling a bunch, so I don't know. I would like it to print. That would make me happy. So yeah, if all you have is distress inks, you could still even paint with those. I mean, totally. Just spray it on some glass or plastic or acrylic or whatever. Grab a brush. Use it like watercolor. Adds color and interest. If spraying just makes you nervous because of all the... And if you don't have the sprays, you just, you know, use your pad and smush it on there and spray some water on it and use that with a brush. Super grungy, I know. Alright, what color next? Alright, I'm running out of colors that were in my... beside me. Here we go. Can never go wrong with Surfboard. It'll mix a little bit with the seedless preserves too. I got the seedless preserves oxide as well. I don't know exactly where it is, but... So that's, you know, mixed with the seedless preserves, making it kind of a weird something. I don't know. A little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Oh, here, with the red. That'll be... Looks almost like a Williamsburg blue, but not quite. It muted it out more than I was expecting. I would have thought it would have purpled it out. But yeah, it looks more gray than anything at this moment. Add some yellow to that. This might be... No, it's not heavy enough to be Bristol board. I'm not quite sure what it is. And then if you do stuff you don't like, what do? You just do some white paint or gesso over that to push it back. It's all good in the neighborhood. Now, the inks that I'm putting there are water soluble. So if I were to add water to them, that would affect them. A little bit more. Do I want red? I don't know. Ew, that is... that's a lot of red. We're going to get a lot of red right now. Holiday red. Oh, yeah, because that's the red you want in summer. Well, it's the red we're going to get. That's all right. Red peeking through from the background is kind of cool. So I'm not mad at it. Some of them will get more red than others. Plus, you know, 4th of July would be coming at some point, right? So this is the fun of a brush like this is you never know what you're gonna get. I have a lot of paint on there, and it is thin, and so it is really, the brush is really soaking it up. This is pretty thick right here. Let's try some of that. Just kind of blot that off on there. I'm going to save that in case I want to blot another one off on there. In case it gets thick like that again. did not print. It was just talking to me in my printer. Alright, so when I blotted it, it ended up doing these kind of, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some interesting things happening there. All because I blotted it. Oh, this has the yellow on it, but there's not a lot going on in that corner. Oh, it was fooling me, because now it is totally, is it printing something? I don't know, it's making noise. Nope, it's fooling me again. Alright, I really like this, what's happening here. That's fun. Maybe if we do like a little vignette around the edges. There we go. Just adding layers. What about this one? A little bit less because there's less on the brush now. That's the spray stain in the back there. Let's see if we can kind of pick some more of that up with the... See, that would have been a really cool piece of paper if I had just... Well, maybe we'll just throw something down there now. For the future bits and bits. Ooh, oh, hold on, I gotta get more paint. Alright, now I'm going to pull in some magenta. This is Soho Urban Artist, like the lime green was. And yes, it is going to go on some of the red ones too, and that's okay. Or it's going to, you know, right now it's going with this bright green, because why not? Sometimes I like bright. Sometimes, let me put a little bit of turquoise out here too. Yeah, you can have more than one color out there to play with. You can do it however you want. And now I'm getting a little bit of both, and it's just interesting. The magenta kind of blues out the turquoise, and the turquoise purples out the magenta. And yep, see, look at that. All I'm doing is you can get these brushes in different sizes. I think this, yeah, this is a 2-inch. And I also have some fluorescents that I could totally add on there too. Alright, you ready for another layer? Are you guys having fun? Is anyone playing along with me? I hope so. You don't want them to get stuck together. That's always a possibility. Alright, I said it's okay to do magenta with the red, right? Except it's not magenta anymore, it's more purple. Definitely, I love turquoise with red though, so who knows how thick this will end up being. But see, that red is just going to peek through now. Blot that out so it doesn't take so long to dry. And if it's too much, what do? You just push it back, way back. Oh, I didn't even move this to the other pile, did I? I want to break up some of that red. And I do like teal and red, so that's fine. I'm doing fairly thin layers, so I don't know. I guess it's okay that I'm not turning my pile upside down. I don't know. I'm just kind of moving back and forth. This one's all muddied up now. I can't remember what I did, but now it just kind of feels really muddy, so we're going to add back in some vibrant color. You see that? Break up some of this red. You don't have to break up the red. You could totally leave the red on there. And maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's what it looks like at the moment. I don't know what it'll look like in the end. I'm just playing. You know, because these have just been sitting in my box. If they all end up ugly, that's okay. Because you know what? I had fun just putting paint on paper. And it made me happy to do that. Just kind of smushing it and moving it around and all its craziness. And it's just, this is the fun part. And you know, it's icing on the cake if it turns out looking good at the end. But if you're having fun while you're playing, then you're totally doing it right. You know, and if something's ugly, just cover it up, you know. A little orange peeking through there and that weird gray color. This is also a weird one. So, you know, can't make it any worse. Those are the ones you like because you'll do whatever you want to them because can't make it any worse. This one needs a little lighter. This is light pink. Just gonna throw that on there with the other ones. Brighten this one up a little bit. Weird it out a little bit. It's a little weird. But the texture on there is very cool. Red and pink. Yep, you can do red and pink. Don't tell my old boss. Because I used to totally tease him. But he wouldn't just wear red and pink. He would wear a red t-shirt with bright fluorescent pink shorts for his PT. And I think I teased him once, and then he teased himself. Then he would make comments on it, not me. So, or I made him very self-insecure, and that's why he kept making comments. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one, but that's okay. Can't make it any worse. What do we want next? More. This is a different bright green. This is brilliant yellow green. Put it over here on the turquoise in hopes that it will... Oh my goodness. Why is my printer making so much noise? It's not happy with me because I unplugged it and plugged it back in. I think it's part of the issue. So it's mad at me. I know. I just pretty much covered the whole thing. That's alright. I'm going to break up some of that. Like I said, it's all about having fun and not worrying about the outcome, because you can change things and change the outcome. You don't have to be married to whatever you started out with the art, with the piece. You can do whatever. Okay, what color do we want? And when do we want? Oh, I had, where did it go? I know I saw my quinacridone nickel azo gold earlier, but that's okay. We can use the heavy bodied one. That's the orange I prefer. Oh, crumbs. Drop the cover. I dropped the cover. Oh, I just found a nice yellow. Well, until I can find the cover, I'm going to set this in here and have it on that little flat surface at the bottom of that, hoping it will help keep air from getting in. This is something King's Gold. Oh, just King's Gold. That's a number with a letter at the end. It's kind of a sunflowery kind of a gold, a deep gold. Ooh, which might be brighten this up a little bit. Maybe. It's just really thick and I want it to dry faster. That's kind of why I'm blotting it out on the paper. We're over here? Okay. I don't know. We'll try it. We don't know if we want yellow on the blue and pink or not. We'll try one. See how it ends up in the end. A little bit of the azo, which is now going to mix with the... Be kind of... Well, what if we just do it like a glaze? Just kind of have it on that. Where's the paper towel? Or actually a baby wipe. So if you take a transparent, don't put it on the opposite side where you just picked it up. You'll never find it again. You just kind of it just will pick up in some different areas a little bit differently. I don't know. That's what that did. Let's see, these have some orange on them. A little bright orange. What if I just kind of do a glaze over the top with the azo gold? It patinas out that blue a little bit, makes it a little bit more of a like a patina green, and makes that not as bright. It's interesting. And you can use any paper. Just make sure it dries in between if you're using a thinner paper, but like you can use this to make some collage pages for in-book pages, music pages, and then, you know, you can tear them down to use in collage. It's just a fun thing to do with that, you know. Just going to do a glaze on that one too. Then it's going to, where all the white was, that's where the orange will pick up. I think I like that. I like that better than whatever I was doing. This has like the lime green and the blue. So if I do a glaze of the nickel gate, it just, that's what it looks like now. It was not my intention to do a bunch of glazes, but you know, you never know what's going to happen when you're just playing. But if you don't like your colors and you don't like the white background, you can just do a glaze over it. It doesn't have to be the Azo Gold. It can be anything. What I like about the Azo Gold is what it does to the greens. Kind of patinas them out a little bit, which is interesting. And then come in with some yellow in some spots, because why not? Blot that out on the back here. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. It's not boring, I'll give you that much. Now it's like a more orangey, more like yellow ochre more now. You know I like my yellow ochre. Sure, can't mess this one up anymore. It's not super pretty. That orange is not my favorite, but it can peek through. What color next? Oh, I found, yeah, I was gonna say I found my liquid one, which is my quinacridone nickel Azo Gold, which is what I was looking for before. I found it, so I might as well use it. What's this piece over here? Oh, okay. I'm trying to hold them up so you can see them. Yes, the orange has kind of taken over. And you don't have to do it the same, you know, not every layer has to be the same technique, you know. Some layers can be doing this. You could even bring in your brayer and use your brayer. In fact, I might do that to push some of this back. Maybe. That was the scattered straw, just kind of deepening the background a little bit. Now, on the ones where I use the oxides, the spray stains, if I put white paint on them, that color is going to wick up through the paint. Somebody asked me a really good question the other day when I was doing the resist, and they asked, you know, can you do the, oh my word, words, can you do the inks and then do the stencil resist part? And you can, but you're not going to get the same results, because unless you're using a permanent ink, like acrylic inks or something like that, then you could. But if you're using the distress inks, when you put that wet paint on there through your stencil or on your gel plate or whatever, you are going to, it's going to wick up through the paint. And if I put white paint on one of these, you will see what I'm talking about. What is this? This is white. Yeah, let's try some white. Oh, this is going to take a while to dry because I just put the white open on there. I don't know what I was thinking. Ooh, you know what I don't have? Is this sap green? Yeah, that's sap green. I like some sap green. Might not make sense with the colors I've got here, but I do like some sap green. Alright, let's just, this does not have the ink on it, so it'll be fine. Kind of blot that off a little bit. Blot it off a little bit more. So if you want to push something back, you just add some white, and then you could add more stuff after that. Break up some of that red in there. And now that's what that one looks like. What about these? What did I have? Sap green here? It's going to be a much lighter green because the white mixed with it. But it'll be interesting. Definitely will be interesting. Pick up some of that. Just adding some of this. Now it's like an olive green with the white mixed in. Oh, just do some white now. It should be like just lighten it up, adding some white in there. See, just interesting. This is going to have green. It's going to totally change that piece. Do we like it? Do we not? I don't know. It's almost like a patina green now, which I like a patina green. Patina being, you know, the green from when copper oxides, kind of a patina. And this one, just take whatever's left on there. Alright, now you might be wondering what's next. So once you have all the layers you want on there, and maybe that's not all the layers I want, maybe I want more. I think I want to kind of go over it with a little bit of, no, I think I'll do some stamping first. Alright, I need to start at the bottom because a lot of these are fairly wet and I don't want to get inks on my stamps. Alright. I mean, I don't want to get paint on my stamps. Oh my word. Because I'm just going to be using inks, I think. But see, I can use this for collage paper now. Isn't that fun? That's why it's kind of fun to have a piece of paper underneath where you're working. Just because it's fun. Alright, I'm going to clean up here and get my stamps out. Alright, I've got some stamps and I've got some other items that I could potentially use for mark making. You use what you want, what you like, stencils, any of that and all of that. It's just, and then I've grabbed out some colors that repeat the colors I've already, oof, sorry about that, used. Let's see, let's just start with black. If you can't afford stamps, you can go onto Amazon and get cheap stamps, or you can use a pen, permanent pen preferably. It does not have to be, make sure it's totally dry before. So if you don't have a script stamp and you want, you know, that look of script, well, first of all, find a pen that works. Those micron ones don't always. That one's a 0.05. And, you know, just, or you can even just write a little poem. None of my pens want to work on acrylic paint though, so I don't know what to tell you. What's this one? The PN. So if you can't afford stamps, take your ballpoint pen if you have to. Just, you know, you might want to test if it's permanent or not. And just do some, it's called asemic writing. It's just make it look like writing, but it's not really. Or you could even, you know, it doesn't matter if you have good penmanship or not. It's going to get covered with other stuff. So, you know, if you wanted to actually write something like in the just do it forest of, just make up stuff. And just kind of, don't really write when you're writing. Just kind of think of words while you're writing. And then that way, see, those I thought of words, that I didn't, so it came out different. Where the deer and the antelope play. There you go. Can't tell what it says, but you know, it's just asemic writing in the background. And that the one that worked the best was the PN, micron PN. That means plastic nib. Those are my favorites. Those are my favoritist. I have a bunch of those, but they don't last forever because I use them a lot. Ooh, but if you can afford like some really good stamps, well, you might want to get like there's this big one here from PM Artist Studio. If you like the bigger words, they have this one as well as, I think this is the Dreams one. It's an IMPP, and that gives you like bigger words, bigger text on there, which is a really cool background. They also have the, I don't know where mine is right now, but the their motto as well. And I just kind of do it in a few places here and there. You could also do it this way And then you can kind of be like, okay, I want it in that corner. I want it in that corner. And because I didn't put the stamp down, I put the paper on the stamp, I don't get a square edge. I get a little bit more of an organic edge. Or maybe I just want it in the middle, like that. So yeah, a lot of times I will just kind of put the paper on the stamp, and it's a little bit more organic looking. And if you want a small one, like this one, I think I got off Amazon pretty cheaply, and it will just give you just kind of a little bit here, a little bit there. You don't need to go all over. You can just do it in a few places like that. Also, if you don't want to have to do that, you can just you don't have to. I don't know why I'm doing it so. But I knew it wasn't going to come out perfectly either. I don't even know which way it is, but I think I had it upside down, so yeah, it goes this way, which is kind of good. If you do it, if you have a little bit more randomness, I guess, if you do it like that. And then also this one I really like, which is just random little circles with numbers and letters that go all different directions. So I like to use that one as a background stamp as well. I always forget to do the middle, not always. I tend to forget to do the middle sometimes. But I feel like I have a little bit more control if I do the paper on the stamp than if I do the stamp on the paper. I don't know if, that makes sense or not, because these are bendable, especially with the foam stamps. These ones are a little bit more bendable. So they're not so bad. And then I just got kind of the ghost print of those on there, so it's not quite as dark. Let's see. And this one is, I was doing, well, that's right, this one's a pattern. And so I'm going to do like that I did before, just kind of, you don't have to do your corners like that. You can, what I like is when I do the paper on the stamp, I get a little bit more of a random look. That's why I like to do it like that. Here's another text one. This is one of Royal Davies from PM Artist Studio. Well, it's numbers actually. I can't even tell which way they go, but that's okay, because I don't really worry about which way they go. Sometimes I will totally turn my paper in all different directions, and I'm gonna go that way, I think. And they're all upside down, but it's a background, so it doesn't matter. The direction does not matter when it's a background. See, looks fine. And then we have Carrie's bigger numbers, Grandpa's numbers. And these can go in any direction as well. So they look nice, going down some edges like that. Or just even almost an all over kind of a pattern like that. Now we got the ghost print happening. So that, it's not going to be as in that, and they kind of overlap a little bit, and I'm okay with that. See how that one comes out. See, nice little background happening there. And this one is a Semic writing, which is one that P from PM Artist Studio designed. I like this one more in the front as just a bold piece. Like I would usually use this one last, but it also works nicely in the background. But like a focal point of that is also nice, but I think it also will work in the background nicely, just as, so you can just kind of see, nice background as well. This is the smaller version of that one. Then I've got some more of my sweater texture here. And what's nice about using black is it's a nice dramatic kind of effect. If you like that, but it's okay. See that? I like that. Okay. And I'm using permanent inks because I know I'm going to be doing more to these. So that's the effect. I get more of a organic, don't get my square edges if I do the paper. I mean, it's also more random. I don't have as much, oops. Make sure your thing's dry before you go stacking them up. But that's okay. We'll just adds a little bit of a distress to it, which is perfectly fine. So like if I were to do this on here, well, now I'm getting the ghost print, so, but I get more of a squared off, like, you know, I have that straight line, where on these, I have more of that distress. They're not perfectly straight. So that's why I like to do the paper on the stamp. You get more of a distress look. Unless I'm, you know, doing more like mark making. Like this would be like a secondary stamp that I would come through and maybe just do some mark making like that. Let's see, I think it'll work good on a numbers one. And I like to overlap my stamping and stenciling. So like this is a lighter and then this darker one just kind of overlaps right on top of the numbers. I like that. That's just me. I just like that. I want a less perfect one in the middle, I think. Let's see, what else? Oh, I had a bunch of green ones, so I kind of wanted to do some ferns in the background. I also had some, no, I did not bring down my green. That's okay. We can do turquoise. Turquoise will be perfectly fine for ferns. Why not? Yeah, these got a little bit stuck. And that's okay. If I wanted more of a monochromatic, I just don't know where I put my green ink. It was not in the box where it's supposed to be. Oh, bye girl. Bye bye girl. I have a little fairy over here from me. Oh, here it is. I do have the green. It just was upside down. I can't see things. If they're upside down, they're invisible. Just FYI. Oh, we don't need to see my belly or my shirt. Alright, so I have other leaves and whatnot too, but this is what was close and on my desk. So I'm going to find the ones that are, and just, you know, there. Now we have a little nature card. It's cute. We like nature. A little naturey. Oh, I was like, oh, this one's double-sided. That's all right. And it's not coming out perfectly, and I'm okay with that because it's the background. You're just having fun. That's the, and I did it upside down because, well, depending. I would more likely have this hang over the top of, no, that's the way, I don't know how I did it, but, you know. Just getting some on there. Like I said, it's background. Did that the wrong, I don't know which way I want to do it, but anyway. Like I said, it's background. I mean, you could go ahead and use your stamping platform and make it all perfect if that's what you like to do. I'm not here to throw any shade. You know, get different heights going on in there too. Now, if I were to do a back, let's see, generally, I think I would prefer like not the, alright, so I'm going to put this one on here. So now I have a ghost print, so now this can all go in the background there and be more backgroundy. And this one can be, I mean, it can be a focal point if you want it to be. What else? What other stamps do I want to play with? I've got my baby little damask ones here. There's big ones and there's these little ones, and then there's these other, there's those little pieces that somebody else designed that are nice. Like if you want to make a damask pattern, these will be nice like as in between pieces. I will have to ask me who they are and I'll tell you. But I had mentioned household items, right? And so I don't think this is going to work with ink. I might have to use paint with this. But I don't know that I've tried it with ink either. But it is one of my, oh yeah, there we go. One of my favorite things to use that's not a stamp. I just really like that as in the background. And it does work with ink, so that's nice. And you don't have to have like the whole circle on there, just half of your circle still gives you a nice background. And what about this one? Can this one just be, I don't think it's kind of more dry, so I don't think that it will, but you don't know till you try. Oh, slightly, just a little bit. This is like the stuff that goes under your rug to keep you from slipping and sliding and falling all over. I think is what that is. Oh no. It's a little bit, yep, there we go. It does work. Let's try the other side, see if it works any better. Probably work a little bit differently depending on where the weaving is. And which side has more like rubbery than the other. Really, really faint. Super faint. Whoops. Very, very faint. What about the cardboard? For that one, let's try this Twilight. You know, that string on there is just going to give us more pattern. If this has a layer of paint on it, it's going to not soak in the ink quite as fast, which will be good. If it's just straight cardboard, it's going to soak in a lot of the ink. But we did get a nice little something back there. That is not what I've been doing. Alright, let's see. And if you want crosses, you can just come this way and some of it will go both directions. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. So if you did the color combo, was it last month he had grit? I haven't looked at this one's color combo yet. But each month, Maker's Creative Collab does like a color combo. Well, and Terry Griffiths does. He does it on his website, but also it's also in Maker's Creative. Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group. On the Facebook group. Oh my word. There used to be a Maker's Creative Collab. That's, you can go look past videos and see what that was. Alright, so here we go. A little bit in the background. So if you don't have stamps, look in your house. See what you have. I have this stamp here, which I think is just a fun stamp to add. If you get like the little sewing stamps, you can kind of use it as a border. You don't have to do a border around the whole thing. It can just be two sides like that. It's interesting. Adds a little bit of something, something. You can even go there and there. See, three sides. That's fine. Could even just kind of see what happens with that, just in the background kind of a deal. What else? What else do we have? Oh, you could add some washi tape if you wanted to. You could add tape and paint over it and then take the tape off if you're using either like a cheap washi or painter's tape, masking tape, art tape, one of those kind of a deals. Should be able to do something like that. Just kind of mask it off where you want to keep the color you've got. And then you could just totally go over that with another color paint. You could do that with this too. It's a good way if you want to make stripes. If you don't like your stripes to be perfectly even, that's fine too. That would be me. Let's see. Should I do... I know I like this tape. I grabbed a tape I like, but that's okay. And then you could go over it with paint, or you could even go over it with one of your stamps. And then you'll have, like, you know, if you're not good at just putting stamps in certain places, you could mask off places. Oh, you could do that with, like, hold on, I'll show you in a minute. Right now I think I'm just going to do this. I mean, you could also use paint, but you know, if you wanted to use a stamp as a stripe, you totally could. Also, another way to do stamping, if you say I want some ripped, say I want to find a piece of paper that I can just rip and throw away, that'd be helpful. You could totally just rip a piece of paper, rip another piece of paper, and this way, when you do your stamping, it will automatically give you that distressed look, even if you do it on here like this. What color do I want? That's the question. Blue's fine. Doesn't have to be straight and perfect. And then you have, you know, like that, if that's how you like it. And you have collage paper to play with later. Like maybe I want a little bit over on this side as well. Oh, I'm going to drive some of you crazy. I'm going the other direction. Some of you will not like that, but that's okay. Maybe a little bit more down here. There we go. And maybe I want to go a little bit upside right here. And maybe up here too. Do a little something here. But it's a background, so don't freak out, Cheryl. that will possibly get covered. Any more? Oh, stencils. We haven't done anything with stencils, right? I have lots of, so I'm just taking turquoise on turquoise, basically, and using one of Eddie's stencils here, because why not? And just kind of going where there's like some white spots, like the lighter spots. Not covering it completely. I want more of a distressed look. So, and it also came out more green because there's probably green on this brush. And that's okay too. But it's just, you know, background. It's just background. Do the blue on this. If you want it to be the right color, then, you know, just, I'll do it on this one in a different color. See, this is a bigger piece with a lot more white on it. I'm actually going to focus on the red on this instead of the white, surprisingly. I know. Kind of go over the white just lightly because it doesn't need to be as dark. And that's what that looks like that. It's got an interesting background. Now it's got some more interest on the background. Do we have any more painty pieces that need another layer? Like this one. Where you could start dark in the middle and kind of go out light to the outside. And that will help it look a little bit more distressed as well. Or you could start dark on the outside and come lighter in the middle. You can do whatever you want. Like we can keep our tape on here. And this one, you can do the outside edges. And come later in the middle. Or you can leave the washi tape on there. It'd be interesting, but also when you take it off, you're going to have these light marks in your background. It's going to be like segmented. And maybe you like that look, maybe you don't, but you won't know unless you try. You get it. I mean, I've not done that like that before, so you know, just playing. When you're playing, you're trying new things. Oh yeah, we're just at about an hour. So this is how I kind of do things. I'll do the paint, I'll do some stamping, and then, you know, eventually they will get focal points or just more done to them. But this is how far I got today with each step, doing a whole bunch. I know, it feels like math making, doesn't it? But now I have a whole bunch of bases to play with. That could work in most anything. And this was, you know, a mixture of mixed media paper, Bristol paper, mixed media paper, and cardstock. When you're using thin layers of acrylic paint, your base doesn't really matter so much because you're not really soaking it in too, so as long as you're letting layers dry in between, you could totally, stop saying you can totally use any paper and do this to any paper. You can start with stamping as well, and that will give you, see, that one just has no stamping on it, but I kind of love this one, like just as it is. I don't know that I want to do anything to it. Maybe I'll do some mark making. Sometimes I'll use acrylic paint markers to do mark making. Stop saying oh my goodness gracious. That's the one we did, just like the little stripe. So maybe I come down here with something else or nothing. There's the cardboard one. The corrugated cardboard one. Some more of the, I think it's the Dream stamp is what that one is from PM Artist Studio. The Fern one I got at the thrift store. I have no idea where it came from originally. But the black, when you see me use black foam stamps or a white stencil, those are all from PM Artist Studio. This one was the sweater texture, which was, I think, my January release. I had the sweater textures. I have some more stamps I would have used, but did I put them away? No, so that's got a little bit of that one. This just has a tiny bit of script on it. You can't even tell. I'll add more to that. It's fine. I was going to add some white to these, but we'll do those in another step. They just, I only have so much. I can only get so much done in one video, But I went through a lot of different colors and ended up with a lot of different pieces that can be used anywhere, and they're just bases. If there's some that I don't like, and believe me, there are some that I'm not crazy about the colors, but then some of them I love the colors. Like I love that one and that other one that I showed you. This one, it's okay. I think it needs more. A lot of these need more. Is that all of them? And then we have, I think there's a couple more here hiding that didn't get stamping on them. But that's okay. Might do stenciling on them, or I might just do some, and that's my drop paper. This is why it's good to have drop paper, because all that was on there got scraped off. Like if you are using glass and you get paint all over it, even if you just use a baby wipe and dampen it, and then you can use your paint scraper. Where's my paint scraper? And it scrapes this. It scrapes right off. Just all you gotta do is get it damp, and it'll scrape. I mean, if you spray it, it'll scrape right off too. But even just dampening it also works. And see, even this, I could use that as collage paper if I wanted to. I probably won't, but I could. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you will go have some painty fun. Cheap brushes, cheap paints. Use what you have. Whether it's the paper, the paints, the brushes, or whatever. If you don't have a cheap brush, use a good brush and just clean it good and use hot water to straighten your bristles afterwards. Or use an old brush that you don't care about. You can use a baby wipe, or you could use plastic wrap. You can use anything. I hope you guys have a delightful day. Love you!